Alright, welcome to week 2 of the Trans Brotherhood. Hi, I'm Chris. This week's topic is going to be covering coming out. Um, I've just recently came out to the general public as of the 20th. Um, and I started out small to begin with. I actually came out to my fiance first because going to counseling helped me realize that I was trans. And after I came out to him, I kind of kept it to myself for a little bit because I needed to process this and figure out how I was going to handle it. Um, I actually had a really cool idea of how to come out to the general public, but it didn't work out because I slept through the photo shoot that I was going to do. So after I finally came to terms with it and what I was going to do going forward and how it was going to affect me being trans and me actually wanting to pursue the transition to become who was supposed to be born as. Um, I told my sister next. After I told my sister, who was very accepting of it, I actually went and told my dad. That was a different story. Not accepting, but he did tell me, I'm gonna love you no matter what. So that was, for now, that's enough for me, for now. Um, I did go ahead, and the way that I came out was through Facebook Live. That was not my original intentions at all. I had a really cool idea where my photo shoot was going to show me at the beginning very feminine. Um, Maybe doll some makeup or whatever. And then halfway through, show me changing into my binder. Not my bit showing, but just, my binder being on. And then me in my normal garb. Um, but like I said, I slept through it, and I got to a point where I was feeling overwhelmed. Like I just wanted to tell people. So I went ahead, Facebook live stream, and just dropped a bomb on everybody. And in return, the bomb was dropped on me that a lot of people actually weren't that surprised. Not really. I did after that because I do have friends and family that's not on Facebook. I'm still steadily coming out, because they just don't do social media or they have me blocked because I'm really offensive on there. Um, so I still have coming out left to do. But I know after that, I told my granny, which she is super religious, and I thought that was going to be the worst of it, to be honest with you. But she was actually very accepting, and she actually asked questions. She was like, hey, I don't understand it. Will you educate me? And she was like, I want to make it clear. It's not like I'm trying to change your mind, but I don't understand. And she's my granny. So I was like, okay, all right, yeah, that's awesome. Ask questions because then I can educate you. As long as you're not being a freaking twat, then yeah. I mean, I don't mind questions. I encourage them for those that don't know, or maybe because everybody has a thing where it's like, oh, go to Google, but I've Googled it before and I was horribly misinformed in the past about what it all meant. That's why I really didn't know until I started counseling. Um, there's two people at work that know about it, but I'm still working on coming out at work. Now, here's what has changed since coming out, at least mentally. Um, I feel a lot less stressed. I do feel like I'm settling more, I guess, is the best way that I know how to put it. I'm not so frustrated, because I understand now and I'm going forth to making this happen. It's going to be slow because I do have other things that I want to get done first, but at least now I have a goal. I know there's a change that can be done, and I'm looking forward to getting that done. Um, Now, my going back to coming out, I know that I've told my sister I only have one sibling, and I've told my dad and my fiance, but um, my mom and I are not in contact any longer. I cut her off about 2 months ago, and so that is just a something else. Unless things dramatically change in our relationship or lack thereof lately, um, I don't see me coming out to her, because I don't see she the way that I put it to my fiance the other day when I was talking to him about it, because it was kind of brought up that I didn't make like a big announcement at work. And the thing is I've been going by Chris ever since I started there. It's on my uniform and everything. And even to the point where if someone does call me by my birth name, I'll just yell back at them, "I don't know who that is, but I'm Chris. I might can help you." So everybody there knows me as Chris, and it's not this big a deal to me. Like, if you're important to me, then yes, I'm going to tell you. If you're not that important to me, I don't really care. And I'm going back and forth on that, because it's like part of me is saying that I need to tell pretty much anybody that I come in constant contact with, but then part of me is like, you're not important enough for me to tell you. Like, you'll find out when the changes start happening, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Um, it's been interesting, because there have been opposite reactions than what I thought would happen. I was actually met with a pretty positive reaction when I did my Facebook Live. I rambled for about 15 minutes nervously, because that's what I do when I get nervous. And then some relationships, like with my fiance, when I first came out to him, he didn't care. Not like he didn't care, but he was just like, if that's how you feel, if that's what you want to do, I'm all for it, this, that, and the other thing. Even whenever I got rid of my purse and started carrying a wallet, he bought me my own wallet, because I was borrowing one of his. So that was like a huge thing for me. And I know some people think that's silly, but to me that was awesome. That's him showing his support in my transition, no matter how slow it may be. Um, but now, as of a couple weeks ago, it's came out of the woodworks, because we've been having some issues. We're gonna make it through, but as adults, we gotta sit down and talk about things. There wasn't a lot of talking, and it finally came to a head. That he was scared. That me going through this was going to change things, and I try my best to calm those feelings, because it's completely valid. I can totally understand it, and I know that there are some concerns that I have as well about who I am as a person, not as a gender. But it's really interesting to see the changes that are being made with certain relationships with friends and family after I've come out, or after they're they're admitting, hey, I'm struggling with this and this and this, and how we can work together through this, because it's new. I mean, obviously it's new. Not many. I don't know people that goes through multiple transitions like this, I guess. But yeah, that's about all I've got to say on that. I reckon. I didn't even realize I was rambling for 10 minutes. Anyways, guys, thank you for joining us this week. Stay tuned. Next week we have another great topic. And yeah, see you guys next week.